making an effort and being here today, and I'm going to get Sue Gray shortly just to address you all as to why we're here. Most of you know my journey over the last 3 years and 3 months and 4 days since Alex died. Alex would be so proud not only of his opinionated mother but of New Zealand, and standing behind what we know is a basic human right, and it's what we choose to put into our bodies so we're well, and it's about safe communities and looking after our communities, which with the synthetics at the moment we are not. So we have people dying and they can't get access to medicinal cannabis. And so today we're here to further that, to hopefully educate the Crown and educate those in New Zealand that are confusing synthetics, which have no cannabis in them at all, and cannabis, the actual 10,000-year-old healing plant, which is what it is. It doesn't kill, it doesn't harm, and it heals. So I acknowledge every single one of you, because I know many of you here today are really sick, and you've been sick for a long time, and you've replaced opioids with a herb that brings you sleep, appetite, good moods, connected with yourself and each other. So thank you all for being here. It's been a long journey. This is nearly over a year, this process so far in the court system. And without this sort of support, we don't get to go on. So thank you. It means a huge amount to so many of us that you're here. And I'll pass you on to Sue Gray, because she's the lady that can actually explain what this afternoon is all about.
Woo! Thank you, Rose. Thank you.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Thank you all for coming again, as Rose has said, and for Rose for being so brave about this whole horrendous process. What we have today is an application because Rose is being charged with possession of CBD, and the argument all along has been that CBD is not illegal and it never has been illegal. We have an affidavit now from Dr. Keith Bedford, who is the former chief analyst of the New Zealand ESR, the official analyst that looks at chemistry and forensic issues, and he says that CBD is not illegal and it's never been illegal, and he's attached a whole pile of documentation showing the challenges he's had with the Ministry of Health, who want it to be illegal and who keep saying that it's illegal despite the best advice that they're getting from Dr. Bedford and his colleagues at ESR. Now the Crown today, I understand, don't have any evidence because nobody at ESR would give them evidence to say what they want said. So nobody at ESR who formerly worked with Dr. Bedford and that team, the experts for the New Zealand government, will say that CBD is illegal. Despite that, I thought the Crown had agreed that CBD is okay, but I had some communications with them yesterday and they're still haggling and they're still not apparently prepared to admit what the law says. So it'll be interesting to see if they've reconsidered overnight and what they actually front up and say today. What they're trying to do instead is to shift the goalposts and change the charges against Rose, because what they've charged Rose with is not illegal under the law, and in any event they've got no evidence to support what they're claiming. So now that they realise that, they've finally read everything and got their heads around it, they're trying to shift the goalpost a year after the event, which is extremely unfair. And it's even more unfair because the other thing that's been happening is we've been asking for samples ourselves to get them tested, because the ESR say we can test to say that it contains some THC, but we can't tell you how much, because our testing can only say THC's there. It can't say if it's 1 part per million or 10% or anything in between, which is absolutely hopeless. So we've been asking for samples so that we can actually get it tested. They refuse to give us samples because they say it's illegal. So Rose is caught in the middle with all sorts of legal defences, but the Crown, who are supposed to operate in accordance with best practices as a model litigant according to the Solicitor General's guidelines, the Crown are trying to shift the goalposts and not let Rose defend herself, and they've even threatened that if she gets off today they'll just try and recharge her. So it's a pretty sad, sick system that we're operating under. So we're doing our best. I'm also been really busy with the poisons issue and the aerial dropping of deadly 1080 poison over New Zealand, and I can't help but draw the comparison where we have hemp that's been legal for 4,000 years, used by communities all around the world, and the government assumes that hemp is dangerous until it can be proven safe. And we have 1080 poison that's labelled as a deadly poison, ecotoxic, all sorts of warnings, but our government assumes that that's safe until it can be proven dangerous. There is something majorly wrong in the way these decisions are being made, and it is not in the public interest, and it is only when the public stand up and be counted that we're going to get any change, because they've shown that they're irresponsible, they don't follow their own laws. Somehow the public have to make the government listen to the people. They've forgotten what their job is. So it's hard work, it's exhausting, but it's only the people's voice that's going to make a difference. I can do the court cases that I can do, but it's people standing up and saying this is not okay, enough is enough, listen to us, that will make the difference. So I can't say any more about the court case today, but I just wanted everyone to sort of know what the issues are today. This is not the full hearing, it's just a legal argument, but potentially the legal argument, if Rose wins on that argument, those charges would have to be dismissed because there's no case to answer. So that's what I'm going to be asking the judge for, and I'm hoping the judge will listen.
That's all we want.
Everything Rose does, she needs our support, and it's right, and we should be doing it.
Tell me, what is your opinion on cannabinoids?
Our medicine, and we should be using them. They're proven to work. I've seen them work myself. I know they work, and they should not be victimised or treated badly like they are.
Do you think cannabis should be decriminalised?
Yes.
I'm really sick and tired of being here. I want to be at home. I don't want to be here doing this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And it's just become boring and more upsetting every year as it passes by.
So you'd prefer to have a cannabinoid over an opiate?
Absolutely any day. I've touched the opiates, I've driven over the white line and fallen asleep with my son in the car.
Yeah.
Taking codeines for pain.
Yeah.
That's not good, is it?
I'd say not.
Yeah, I got addicted to tramadol while I was waiting for knee surgery. That was horrendous to stop taking. Electric shocks in your brain, legs that wouldn't stop at night when you went to bed to rest. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. And the most harmless of all is cannabis, whether it's THC or CBDs.
What would you like to say to those authorities making the laws?
Do I have to make it seemly?
No bad language.
Well, perhaps they could pull their finger out, eh?
Yeah.
And get some brains.
Yeah.
You know, how many people do we have to lose with synthetics? You know, when are we going to get compassion for addicts? When are we going to sort out the war on drugs? Prohibition does nothing but make things 200% worse. We know it. That happened when alcohol was prohibited. It happens with everything. It makes it worse.
Do you feel that it criminalises good people?
It criminalises good people. Yeah, exactly. It makes it worse in all areas. You know, and you'll never stop human beings doing it. You'll never stop human beings doing it. Never, ever. And we have to sort out the pain that people have to suffer, physical, mental pain, and why we have to get to the grassroots of why people become addicted, why their lives are in misery, why they're in misery.
Yeah.
And we have to have compassion and understanding, and we have it in absolute abundance, don't we, Chrissy?
Yeah.
But we've got to act. We can't just keep on this talk forever and ever and ever.
No.
You know, Queen Victoria, steampunk's pride and joy, Queen Victoria, she took cannabis because that was the medicine you took back then. You know, and she was a handsome, buxom lass, and they, but all of a sudden, for political and racist reasons, cannabis and drugs were demonised, and we all know about that now. We've all been educated that way, and it's getting rid of the stigmatism and,
They call it a gateway drug. Do you think it's a gateway drug?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because a person is going to take drugs anyway. If they're going to take them, they're going to take them anyway. Some people, you see, they're going to take them anyway, but not everybody who takes a drug gets addicted.
No.
Not everybody. Everybody who goes down to the pub at night and has a beer before they go home from work doesn't become addicted. Only a small amount of people suffer addiction problems. And that's not because of the drug. That's because of what's inside them.
I was just talking to a police officer just before who said that his concern about people driving on cannabis, that their reactions are slower. Would you agree?
Oh, I can't really make a comment on that because I really haven't seen... That's only his opinion. Did he bring out a whole lot of proof for what he said? I can't say neither way because I haven't got the proof. But if they do have an accident, they're going to get less hurt, aren't they? Because they're going to be going slower.
Oh, tell me a bit about your sign here.
It's my journey. I've been very, very unwell with migraines and taking medications into the stage where I was actually near death, and the medications affected me so much. It's taken me years to get off these medications, but by swapping, I don't take any medications now.
Right.
And it's taken at least 10 years to get to where I am now, and now I've replaced it with CBD and I've got my life back.
Would you call yourself a criminal?
Absolutely not.
But the law as it stands would?
Yes, the law does, yes.
Right.